was a 33-year-old mother of 4 when she went missing in Anchorage, Alaska in 2012. She lived in Fairbanks, but made the trip down to Anchorage to check out a school for medical assisting. She had big dreams of bettering herself and making a good life for her children. She wanted to be a good example, a good role model, and she wanted to be able to provide for them better. The school she really wanted to go to for medical assisting was down in Anchorage, quite a distance from Fairbanks. So she made the trip to Anchorage to meet with this school. Police confirmed she arrived in Anchorage on October 9th, 2012, around noon. Allegedly, Mary Ann would call her friend Peggy at 3 a.m. the morning of October 10th, telling Peggy that she was lost in the Spenard area of Anchorage and she was frightened. Peggy said that Mary Ann didn't sound very coherent and she had a history of drinking. Peggy assumed she was drunk. That would be the last contact Mary Ann would have with anyone. Since Mary Ann kept regular contact with her family and friends, they immediately knew something was wrong. And when they didn't hear from her at all during the day of October 10th, they checked with the school she was supposed to be meeting with, and they confirmed that Mary Ann did not show up as planned. The family quickly boarded a plane and flew down to Anchorage. I have read some accounts where police believed she may have wandered off into someone's property and passed out in a shed or outbuilding. They thought if she was drunk and if she was lost and confused, that she may have wandered off somewhere and possibly just passed out. They urged the community to check their property, their garages, their sheds, any outbuildings that they had, but nothing was found. There isn't a whole lot documented about the search of Ann Alexie, but I did read about a search that the police conducted in the waters of nearby Lake Hood, but nothing was found there either. I also have done some research and I reached out to some people associated with this case to find out about the car Mary Ann was driving. I'm not sure if it was ever found. There's never any mention of it. And that leads me to believe that it was not found. I have not heard back from anyone yet on this, but I will keep you updated on social media if I do find out something more concrete on that. There also was no information available that Mary Ann knew anybody or had any connections with people in Anchorage that she might have met up with. It seems that she was in Anchorage alone, no connections, and a complete mystery as to where she ended up going. There have been absolutely zero clues in Ann Alexie's disappearance. It is truly as if she vanished into thin air. Mary Ann's family has spoken out to the media and believes that her case may not have received the attention it deserves because Mary Ann is of Native American descent. The police adamantly deny this. But Mary Ann's family has stated how disappointed they are with the police department and their communication with them. The police have stated that they just don't know a whole lot about what happened to Mary Ann. Also, they don't like to share every bit of information with the family or the public in general, as they need to protect their case. There are always some things the police need to keep close to the vest in case they need to prove some evidence later. Sadly, Mary Ann's brother, Robert, was tortured by Mary Ann's disappearance, and in 2014, he tragically committed suicide. This reminds me of the sad case of Tyler Stice that I covered, and his sister, Jessica, Losing a loved one is so hard, but not knowing what happened to them or where they even are must be absolutely unbearable. Marianne's sister, Josie, runs a Facebook page for Marianne. Help find Ann Alexie. It is not very active now as time has gone by, but I encourage you to check that out and share any posters or information from there about Marianne. Also, the simple act of liking her page or liking any post helps that piece of information be more searchable. How can Ann Alexie completely disappear in the city of Anchorage, Alaska? Her Charlie Project page states that foul play is suspected, which would make sense since she has never been found. But how did she find harm when she was just lost at 3 a.m.? She did say she was scared and maybe in an unsettling area of Anchorage, but what could have happened that led up to her disappearance? Was it a random act of violence? Or did she keep driving and find her way out of the city? Alaska can be very remote and has a lot of wilderness and out of the way areas. Did she end up in the wild somehow and herself succumb to the elements? It's a vast area to search, but to date, nothing has been found. So, with such a lack of evidence and clues to go on here, speculation is all anyone has. Her family still desperately wants answers, and Marianne had 4 children. They all really want to know what happened to Marianne. Marianne is 4'11", 120 pounds, dark hair, and of Native American descent. If you know anything about the whereabouts of Ann Alexie, please call the Anchorage Police at 907-786-8900.